360 planing in the foot straps is actually, or could actually be, by far your most consistent move, because you don't take your feet out of the foot straps, you don't move your hand, like you're not moving. All right, and the upwind 360 in high winds will finish just like the upwind 360 in light winds. You're not going to plane. I can almost plane out of an up 360, honestly. I'm really close, and I have a really cool way. I'm going to teach you a way that no one else does it, which is really neat. But keeping that in mind, you're still not going to plane out of it, so you're always going to pivot out of the move. So this goes back to the story that I want to do light wind freestyle when it's windy. I mean, I want to be able to do light wind freestyle when it's windy. Then I'm good, because I can do all kinds of stuff when it's not windy. Why can't I do light wind freestyle when it's windy? Well, it's because you're using the wind. If I can learn not to use the wind, and don't care if it's windy, I'm not using the wind to do the move. So the idea and the way that I need you guys to learn how to eventually do the upwind 360 is to not use the sail. Because if you use the sail, you're not going to be able to do it when it's windy. And you're king of 5 miles an hour, and in 10 it gets hard, and in 20 okay, make one of those. Because you're using the sail the whole time, right? Yeah. I'm going to try to get my feet to go 180 degrees without moving the sail. So the trick to this move is once the board starts turning, is to keep the sail in the same place. The whole time you were spinning your feet around, you guys kept the sail exactly where they want. So now you're all the way spun all the way around. Now we're going to look all the way around to the left and swing the sail around our body, and now you're going this way. Right now, I didn't tell you how to do this, but I want to explain how this twist is going to work. So eventually, my idea is like, we got to turn the board. The board's going to turn. 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 I got to keep the sail lined up with the wind. The board's going to turn. The board's going to turn. Right? I did not let the sail move. Now, board straight downwind. I'm looking straight upwind. I want to finish. I look, and the board finishes the turn. So now you look. Okay, so here we go. I haven't really told you how to do this. I just want you to understand what the secret is. So if I come up in the wind, I move the sail backwards. Now, if I can learn to have the board turn, so now my board's turned all the way downwind. And then I look, and now the board comes the rest of the way out, and I finish the move. Right? Yeah. So the trick is not to have the sail go with the board, because this is what everybody does. They look at the nose of the board. So halfway through the trick, how much sail's exposed right now? All of it. Which means I can only do this when it's not windy, like the last couple days. I own it this way. That's when I got on you to start with, because you can muscle through this the first day, and then once we learned to just pivot it, all of a sudden you were like, oh yeah.
You were at your back.
Right? So the difference is I have 3 ways to steer. So now, here we go. I'm going to go up into the move. You can sit down and relax now. We'll get back to this. Also, being able to separate your body and not watch this thing spin. You know, you hear me make the joke, the higher the nose, the better she goes, or like the smaller the fin, the quicker the spin. Conceptually, it's the same. Like if I can get all the water line on one end, this thing's going to turn on a dime. So, here we go. Cruise along, through wind. Big sail back, non-planing. Big sail back, turn the board up into the wind. Overshoot slowly by pulling the clue across the tail, keeping your mast arm extended so the board goes past the eye of the wind by about a half an hour. Slice the sail to 12 o'clock, backwind for a second. Now keep the sail off, shift the weight to the back foot, roll the weight to the back foot. What's going to happen now?
Water line.
Up, water line's coming back, board starts to turn downwind. So I would love to initiate that second part of the turn with the sail. But if I really initiate the second part of the turn with the sail, I might get leveled if there's wind. So we're just going to try to hold it there, work your way back, work your way back, work your way back. Board's turning, mast down, clue up, weight on the back foot. Board's turning, mast down, clue up, weight on the back foot. Board's gone as far as it's going to go, mast down, clue up, weight on the back foot. Eyes on 12 till the nose gets to 6. Now I'm going to pull in on the front arm. Pull my hips in, either slide my backhand in or even tennis save.
Yeah.
Then the board finishes the turn. So grab back on. Out we go. We can do that regular. What? What do you mean you just did? You were doing
What I mean is your foot is all the way under the sail there.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
And it's the shin shave again. Exactly.
In the back.
Yes, but that way, otherwise it stalls. Yeah, so you're just trying to keep the sail lined up with the wind. Now, we can do that normal. That was a normal 360. We can do it fin first. getting on the board, turning upwind, fin first, backwinding, fin first, and doing it. I really think that fin first helps you a lot because you can only put vertical pressure on the board if it's fin first. Right? If it's fin first and you lean out of it, off you go. If you do this fin first, you can only be straight over the board. So fin first is great. You can do this clue first, and you can do this clue first, fin first. So there are 4 basic versions of this: turning into the wind, backwinding, lining the sail off, learning to move the water line so the board turns, and then when the board turns, do not follow the sail with the board. Let the board do its thing, then bring it to the around later.
Clue first can be really unstable, right? High wind, you're going to be.
Yeah, you never. I wouldn't choose a clue first upwind 360 when it was windy. Yeah, because I mean, I can do it, but it's not pretty. You know, there's a lot of muscling going on there, even for me, because that clue is reverbing away. If you slice it when it's windy, it's less than take you down. Okay, now each one of these could have a duck. Right, each one of these, if you duck the sail halfway through the move, you change from being clue first to normal, or normal to clue first. So that gives you 8. You have 4 of these where you start and finish the same. If you change your sail halfway through, now you have 4 new ones. Now we were laughing the other day. I mean, there are switchfoot. There could be another zillion varieties, but let's stay with like relatively basic. So here comes Drew. He's what?
Clue first. Having a great day of sailing, because every day of sailing is
Yes,
a great
and
day.
he now has his hand out by the clue. Okay, here we go. So I rake the sail to the back, and the nose of the board approaches 12 o'clock. And then we slowly oversheet the mast across the tail so the nose goes through 12 o'clock. Then we slice the clue into the wind, clue hand dominant, barely touching the mast hand. The sail backwinds, clue first for a second. Now that backwinded clue first, I got to sheet out. So that's clue down, mast up, weight on the back foot. Board's turning, I'm pushing on the clue. The board's turning, I'm pushing on the clue. The board's turning, I'm pushing on the clue. And the board is where?
Almost downwind.
Almost downwind. This is about the best way I was going to do. If I do a regular upwind 360, I have to finish clue first again. So I would move my clue hand to back, release the mast hand, and the board will swing all the way around to clue first. I'll end up clue first again. Because I started clue first. So that's the regular clue first. But the duck jive version is you're going mast down, clue down, mast up, clue down, mast up. When the board's straight downwind, we do the reach around. And then it just comes right back around and you're out. So the clue first ducking is really stupid.
You're not ducking at all.
It doesn't look like a duck at all. Like it's just like, okay, I'm clue first. Like, because I'm clue first, and then I'm regular.
Yeah.
But that's actually ducking the back of the sail, as funny as that sounds.
Yeah.
Not much of a duck.
What? Not much of a duck. That's why we added the double duck, the number 9. Because the double duck is push, clue down, push out, and then going, which looks a lot more like a duck in the middle.
Right.
How are we doing? So really what I'm telling you is if you can learn to use your water line and keep your stuff off, keep the sail off, and keep yourself over the center line so that you don't, lose, because it sails off. There's only one place you can hang out with the motor off. You better find that spot and then be able to do everything. You'd be amazed. Like you upwind 360, you'll make this all day long.
Where's your front foot on that? Were you in front of the mast?
Depends on size of me, size of blood. Right, big board, I might have to have both feet back. Didn't need enough for lunch, both feet back. Right now on my small board, I do all my freestyle 98 liters, 99 liters. That's my, so most of the time I'm half underwater anyway. So my weight shift that's all I need on that one. Right, I'm on the longboard. All right, we got to go back to the back and really max out. That's why getting you guys off of those bigger boards is a little bit better, because the weight shifting aspect of the freestyle is suffering. And why you shifted to this really short board right away, just to see the difference. Small boards grow 5 liters an hour.
Yep, I mean that was
Yes.
true when I was a beginner, yeah.
Yeah, it's still true. It's still true. Every move went under this category. Now, actually, you guys stand up. You'll actually feel this. This is pretty interesting. Bend your knees, and then dig your heels in with your knees bent. Okay, it's not too bad. Now, straighten your legs and dig your heels in with your legs straight. Throw your back out with your butt. Throw your butt out with your legs straight. Which way is easier to really drive the heels down?
Squatted.
Straight. No.
This is
straight legged.
You got a lot more weight.
Yeah, you get a lot more on those heels.
Oh, okay.
Try with that,
Yeah,
you
right,
can't
right,
sit,
right,
right?
yeah, true.
And your upper body wants to go back
Yeah.
on you when you do that. So a pike carve, you're going to put your hands pretty close together on the boom. You're going to unhook, and then you're going to carve completely sheeted out. And you're going to start moving the sail forward while you carve upwind because it's sheeted out, which makes it easy to move. And two, don't use a damn sail to turn. You know where you need it later because it's a 360 later. Okay? So here we go, you guys. And I love, like I said, I love this. When you watch me do this, you're going to be like, what was that move? Like you can't tell it's an upwind 360. It looks completely different because of the speed going, you know, there's this different looking thing. So here we go. We're ripping along. We bring our hands relatively close together. We unhook. We hang down, we sheet out, and we pike carve. So I'm going to pike carve in both foot straps, and I'm going to carve the board. When the sail gets to 12, I'm going to leave it at 12 and keep carving. Okay?
So the sail's off.
The sail's off, and I need the sail when?
When you get around the other side.
No.
I mean, no.
No. Very specifically, no. When the board stops planing. So when the board gets to 12, the sail, you got to leave it at 12. So I'm hanging down, I'm bringing the sail forward, I'm carving upwind, I get to 12, I'm going to leave it there. Because I'm still steering with the board, I carve. Oh my God, I got really far today. Now I'm out of speed. Shit. Then we go to light wind mode. Reach back, wait on the back foot, mast down, clue up, mast down, clue up, mast down, clue up. So when those get to 6, right, bring the head around, we pop right back. Especially in your foot straps, you'll pop right out and come out the other way. Everybody leaves the sail behind them, but they leave the sail behind them when they start to trick. They're ripping along, they're like, okay, I'm gonna start to trick, and they go, and they carve upwind. The sail never went with them, and then it's tough. I'm saying unhook, bring everything forward with you, carve, leave the sail at 12 if you're still carving, carve as far as you can. Once you've run out of speed, then we get over onto that back toe, mast down, clue up, and you'll pop right out of it. You'll get right out of it. The light wind version is easy on the shortboard when you're in both foot straps because you're on the back of the board.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody loses the carve when they bring the sail forward, or it's a totally different version where the sail forward is going bound. You'll see everybody carve upwind, and they're like, the second the sail goes, their weight goes to their toes. The second their sail goes, the weight goes to their toes because you've been doing that all the time in light winds. I am carving on my heels. When I get to 12 o'clock, the sail stays at 12. It goes, it stays at 12, but I don't put my weight on my toes. I keep carving. Keep carving. Once I'm out of speed, then we change from heels and carving to weight on the toe of the back foot and pivoting. You carve in and you pivot out.
And because there are the straps, like your weight is a lot more over the board, like.
Because you're in the straps, you.
Compared to non-planing.
Non-planing. No, you're non-planing. All your weight's over the board, but your feet you could get away with a lot more. When you're planing, it's very specifically being carved upwind on your front heel. Like you're carving upwind on your front heel, and you're, like I said, everybody wants to go crank it back with the sail back, and that makes it ugly and not smooth. If I can just unhook, get into that weird pike position, and carve upwind. Same with tacking. If you do a planing tack, if you guys do a planing tack, that pike carve upwind works so much better. I can take my hand to the mast, do a pike carve into a tack, and take one step, and I haven't lost an ounce of speed with that. Like I can get to this full plane.
Dang, that's nice.
So I do planing backwind jibes. I do planing backwind jibes, I do a double planing backwind jibe, and I do the Siamese, and those are all getting to the other side of the mast planing and then jibing. So again, we're ripping along, you guys. Hands normal. We're gonna unhook. We're gonna sheet out in a pike carve as the board carves upwind. We'll slice the sail or leave the sail at 12. It keeps carving. It carves as far as it goes. Once I'm out of speed, I'm up over top of that board, putting the weight over the back foot. We sheet out, mast down, clue up. As the board pivots, we try our best to keep that mast at 12 o'clock. Board's as far down as it goes. We swing around to the new direction. Maybe not 10 to save, and out we go. Can you see it?
Yeah, so when you shift to your toes, it's once you get well past, when the board's kind of stopping, it's the back toe that's got the pressure to get
It will be. When you shift to your toes, it's because you're not carving anymore.
Right.
When you slice the sail, it's because it's at 12 o'clock. Everybody wants to do the sail and the toes at the same time. They all want to go, right?
Because it's at 12 o'clock. You're trying to keep it at 12 the whole time, right?
Yes, that's exactly it.
So when it's leaving 12 o'clock is when you slice.
Everybody,
the sail, right?
as I carve upwind, the sail slices at 12 and just sits there. Ooh, just kidding. Yeah, so you're gonna be slice carve. I'm gonna carve upwind. As I'm carving upwind, I'm gonna start bringing the sail forward because I don't want to leave it on the back. And then when the nose of the board when the sail gets to 12 and the nose gets to 12, once the nose turns past 12, I gotta leave the sail where it was. So I'm gonna carve past 12 with the sail at 12. And then once I'm out of speed, I gotta roll onto the toes at that point and then sink the back. And then lift your clue. Yep, and then poof, you'll pop right out. It makes that noise.
And as soon as you sink the back and start spinning, that's when you let the sail.
Yeah,
take you
because
around.
you're in your foot straps, so
Yeah.
the thing's gonna sink quick.
Yeah.
So it'll literally
Right.
pop right around.
Right,
The worry is over rotating.
And I didn't mishear that you do that planing. You
I
can't
can-
plane out of it.
I'm close, so I have done now upwind 360s in both foot straps where I was able to remain on my heels all the way around.
So the tail doesn't
so-
really ever sink, because once the tail sinks, you're not planing anymore. I mean,
So I've theoretically planed out of it, but I did not come out planing. But I was able to stay on my heels all the way around, which means I came out with pretty decent forward speed
right.
for the board to be able to be the steering function.
And that's that heel weight from in the pike position. That's pretty cool.
The
And
heel
when
weight
are you
from
when do
the
you
pike,
unhook?
the heel weight from the pike
From being in
position
the-
is how you turn upwind. Like once you
Right,
get the
right.
and your butt's sitting over your front foot, and you're trying to keep the whole ski in the snow, the whole board in the water, to get that, and it's a front foot pike carve. And you never see anybody do this, but it really works good.
Front
So if you don't
okay,
get a
front
feel of that, try to do it without your back hand. Try to carve into one without your back hand, and that will give you, because there's no way to hold the sail without the back hand and get your weight has to be over the board. Like all of a sudden that makes you have to stand over the board so it won't, there's nothing to fall back on. It's not that I'm saying that's great advice, but just one try like that might, it's like if you're constantly here and the sail's upright, this is not going to work. When I'm carving upwind, eventually I have to get upright and the sail has to be forward leeward because I need to own center because the sail's sheeted out. I can't be any other place than over the board if the sail's sheeted out. So that pike is very deliberate. Like your nose is over your toes. If my nose is over my toes, I have zero power, so I'm just going to let it out and coast over those toes. I
When
even
you get
tried
around-
the Trictionary. The Trictionary technically shows this way. Actually, I don't know if it does. I did an article about this in Windsport a few years ago, trying to show the difference between the Upwind 360s and saying, look, I have a better way. But no one really bit into this, and there are enough people doing it. And like I said, I can show this to a pro. They'll do it immediately my way. Like, oh, that's really cool. But they've been doing it the same way for 20 years. They're not going to change the way they're doing it. You know, it's just, this is cool. If you can just carve up one with that sail in front of you. I was thinking about trying to do the old school duck tack and like the ducking version of the Upwind 360. You know, I feel like I'm going smooth enough. I could carve under and just old school duck tack around and then come through.
When you come out of that, you jump right out of the foot straps, right? Otherwise,
No.
you fall off.
Depends how windy it is. If it's windy, you just hook right in and go again. Especially the freestyle boards, they got
If it's
big
windy,
butts.
yeah, right.
Yeah. So speaking of it, when it's windy, so when you're finishing the move and opening up the clue, right?
Yeah.
You're saying you could tennis save, just let go.
Yeah.
But if you don't, like you got to bring both hands up pretty far at the
Pretty
front.
far. If you're in both foot straps, you're almost falling back into a preemptive strike strike position. So as I'm bringing it around in both foot straps, it's really windy. I'm falling back so that it comes around and catches me, and I'm still on the upwind side of vertical.
Okay, so you're already anticipating the weight there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you guys in the light wind one, you're constantly anticipating that last yank on these moves.
Right.
You know, so you're like, okay, I'm almost to the end. There's going to be that one spot where it switches again.
Yeah.
So it's a pylon, definitely amplified.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, how are we doing?
Good.
Good?
Yeah. Excited. I'll
Okay.
try it.
Yeah.